Hi there, my name is Angeli, and I will be going under uncertainty reduction theory. So, uncertainty reduction theory is also known as initial interaction theory. It was originated by Charles Berger and Richard Calabrese in 1975. This is an important theory because in life, uncertainty is inevitable. You never know what's going to happen. So, to start off, communication is used to reduce uncertainties between strangers engaging in their first conversation together. But Berger and Calabrese believe that when strangers first meet, they're primarily concerned with increasing predictability in an effort to make sense out of the communication experience. In other words, they are always trying to figure out, or people are trying to figure out, what goes on in the initial encounter you have with someone you just meet. This leads to prediction explanation. Prediction is the ability to forecast one's own and others' behavioral choices. Explanation is the ability to interpret the meaning of behavioral choices. In other words, when strangers meet, their primary focus is reducing the level of uncertainty in a situation because uncertainty is uncomfortable. This leads to two levels of uncertainty, which is cognitive uncertainty and behavioral uncertainty. Cognitive uncertainty is the degree of uncertainty related to cognitions, while behavioral uncertainty is the degree of uncertainty related to behaviors. Then you also have self-disclosure. If one of them had violated the ritual by other engaging in inappropriate self-disclosure, which revealing personal messages about the self-disclosed to another, this could increase the level of behavioral uncertainty. So, for example, I met a person today and I didn't feel certain about anything. I actually felt cognitive uncertainty and behavioral uncertainty because whenever I was speaking to this person, I'd get really nervous and uncertain about how to act. And then cognitive uncertainty is I didn't know how they were feeling, and it confused me as a person. This leads to assumptions of uncertainty reduction theory, which is people experience uncertainty in interpersonal settings and it generates cognitive stress. When strangers meet, their primary concern is to reduce their uncertainty and increase predictability. Interpersonal communication is a developmental process that occurs through stages and is a primary means of uncertainty reduction. The quantity and nature of information that people share change through time. It is possible to predict people's behavior in a log-like fashion. Okay, well, to start off, it is not possible to predict people's behavior in a law-like fashion. It only happens most of the time. But we hope to understand the other person. The other thing is you have 3 phases. The entry phase, which is the beginning stage of an interaction between strangers. For example, when I met my friend, we were at a table and I decided to just call out to him randomly, even though I didn't know him. Personal phase, the stage in a relationship when people begin to communicate more and spontaneous and personally. So I believe at the end of today, we decided to get to know each other on a personal level. And that's where my uncertainty started to slip away, even though it really didn't. Exit phase, the stage in a relationship when people decide whether to continue or leave. So we have reached the exit phase and we are now discussing or continuing talking. This leads the axioms of uncertainty reduction theory. I'm not going to go over all of them, but there's 9 axioms. For example, axioms are truisms drawn from past research and common sense. Let's go over axiom 5. High levels of uncertainty produce high rates of reciprocity. Low levels of uncertainty produce low levels of reciprocity. A positive relationship is advanced here. Reciprocity is the communication that mirrors the previous communication behavior. This also leads to the antecedent conditions, strategies, developed relationships, social media context. With context, there is low context cultures and high context cultures. Low context cultures is where most of the meaning is in code or message, versus where the message is internalized in listeners. So in short, uncertainty theory, my voice. Uncertainty reduction theory. It's about how you meet somebody and then you're trying to break the ice with them while also breaking your level of uncertainty. Depending on how the situation goes, your uncertainty level could increase or decrease, but theory is used to explain how strangers interact with one another and to understand what you can and cannot do in order to make it work.